Hello YouTube, hello everyone. Recently in my feed I saw a number of articles about what I suppose is meant to be a backlash against quote-unquote men's favourite quote-unquote arguments. Not all men do this, not all men do that. Apparently this is meant to be somehow objectionable. Odd, when there was me thinking the problem was meant to be the patriarchy, but apparently pointing out that patriarchy hurts men too is also meant to be wrong because ectospambolisms. Why not add to your list of deadly sins observing diverse examples of sexism in fact being double sexism? Then I really will be stumped when attempting to be an ally by explaining to ill-informed people that feminism is not in fact meant to be an enemy out to get men. It is somewhat risible to complain about MRAs while simultaneously being their arms suppliers. Oh, and of course it is implied that not being a man is the only way of not being privileged, and all men are privileged, yada yada. One of the articles in question generalised men from the get-go, and continually did so throughout, displaying a truly asinine failure to comprehend the actual problem. For the past few weeks, I have been watching Nigel Farage attempt to convince people that his party, UKIP, is not bigoted. His problem is that he can't seem to get his candidates to shut the fuck up. If I still identified as a feminist, I would empathise with him right now. Some time ago I got into an argument on a Ruby Dynamite thread on Facebook. I was sick of seeing misandry in the guise of legitimate feminism, and so didn't care if this ended up with one of us blocking the other. The opening of the article was visible. I remarked that I would never click on it due to the use of language. Men do this, men need to learn, men should be told, yada yada. It seemed to be impossible to convey to Ruby & Co. that if I as a man am meant to be receiving whatever message it was the article was trying to convey, then I may not be the only man who sees that use of language, rolls my eyes, and moves on. And there are men out there far less sympathetic to feminism than I am. I know, I spent far too much of my life arguing with them. And that maybe, just maybe, somebody is wrong, and somebody else is merely pointing it out. I recently received a series of links over Skype for potential topics for my podcast. I eventually had to explain to my friends that because just by looking at the URLs, I could see this very use of language, and thus have never clicked on them and never will. Should the use of language be changed and the link sent again, then maybe I would consider it. Perhaps I would have liked, agreed with, even enjoyed such articles, or at least appreciated their core messages. Maybe I would even have benefited from them. No one will ever know. Imagine your brand of feminism or your kind of feminist arguments are a product you want to sell. Business is going poorly and you wish to increase your customer base. You wait by one of the posters advertising your product, holding a clipboard, and ask people, "Did you notice the poster? What did you think of it? Was it somehow objectionable to you? Is this a product you think you might be interested in? What, if anything, would you change about this poster?" It might not be eye-grabbing, or perhaps it is poorly arranged or too wordy. Perhaps it is bollocks. It does not hurt to acknowledge when your efforts were simply not good enough, and that your approach needs to be improved. If you are actively a feminist, then you are attempting to do something. When attempting to do something, it helps not to be shit at it. Is it an example of my male privilege that I can just walk by and ignore what you think I should hear? If so, then that privilege is why I am the very customer you should be chasing. If you have to stand by the poster screaming like a drunken vagrant to get my attention, what were you doing wrong before? 2 points here. 1. People have the option to ignore you. 2. If I am being an arsehole, well, some people are arseholes. There will always be arseholes. And sometimes arseholes are right. If I bothered to respond to something with, "not all men," it wouldn't be because I am defensive, and nor would it be an argument. In fact, I have never once heard this used as an argument in my entire life, and I doubt I ever will. What it responds to does not warrant or deserve an argument, and in my case it would be like reviewing a movie I've never seen. And don't try to make me watch your movie with hyperbolic insults and inaccuracies. It doesn't matter how important your film is. If you've made a shit trailer for it, you need to get yourself back to the cutting room and try again. What is actually happening in this scenario is that you, male or female, feminist or not, are, in this instance, wrong. And I, male privilege or not, am correcting you. I am not offended by your feminism. I am offended by your incompetence. Male privilege did not cause your incompetence. Patriarchy did not cause your incompetence. And guess what? I don't believe the dog ate your homework either. Are you wondering if I should be as belligerent and condescending as this if I want the message to come through? Are you wondering how many people switched this video off by now because of my tone or my attitude? If so, well done.